My name is William Vandre. I'm a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu under the Machado brothers from Brazil. Welcome to Volume 2, Developing the Guard Game. Developing the guard game is a game of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. The guard game is a position we like to do on our backs, flat, sometimes sitting up, different angles, different guards. There are many guards for different positions, different actions, reactions, sweeps, reversals. So what I'm going to show is just a couple of fundamentals, and when I'm going to work some fundamental techniques, I'm going to develop basic, a little bit of intermediate, and then I'll show a couple of advanced things. But let's start with some fundamentals first of all. For those of you who may be new to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I want to show you something very fundamental, easy to work with, and something that's very basic, that's very universal in our Jiu-Jitsu community. It's one of the first things people develop into the guard. Taylor, my assistant Taylor will be on top. I'm going to start in the lock guard. The guard here looks a lot like this. There's many different forms of guard, but let me just start with this basic one. Here I'm going to grab the collar and the sleeve. When I hold collar and sleeve with Taylor, I'm going to unlock my hips, my feet. I'm going to scoot out a little bit like this. When I'm turning to the side to scoot out, I want to get to where I'm going to scoot out a little bit here. When I scoot out, I need a little distance. Can you raise your arm? So I can get my knee under the stomach like this. When I have the knee under the stomach here, I'm going to pull the collar, put some pressure into my knee. I'm going to cut into this leg here. I'm going to pull, and then I'm going to kick like that. When I kick like that, then I can get on top for the mount, which I'll do in just a second, but I want to show basic reaction first. So again here, let me scoot up just a little bit. Here, first of all, I have the collar and the sleeve. The sleeve I hold so he can't post the arm out. The collar so I can keep his neck down so he can't stand up or break my guard. I'm going to unlock, post, scoot out. When I scoot out, knee across, as you see. And when I'm here, I'm going to pull in my collar, or his collar into my knee. I'm going to chop here, and then I'm going to pull myself right to the mounted position. When I'm mounted, get your base low, butt down. And here in these positions, you can work some different attacks. So the opening we're working with is called the scissor sweep, or in Portuguese, the embocada. Okay? So let me show you one more time. Lock guard, collar, sleeve. Unlock, scoot out, hook, sweep, get on top right away. So this position here, when we're working this, is going to help a lot in your guard game. Scissor sweep is good for sometimes people who lean forward or people who don't understand balance. Sometimes if you're an advanced student, you have someone just stalling, holding there, and if you're trying to go chokes or collar action, you can just go to the scissor sweep right away. Let me show it one more time. Lock the guard, unlock, scoot out, hook, boom, and here I can pull myself right to the mount. For the scissor sweep here, there's other problems. So first of all, work with this, some fundamental scissor sweep, and then we'll go to the action after this on the next technique. So, as I was just saying, we're going to get into the second piece. A lot of times, the scissor sweep is a very fundamental action from the guard. The problem, a lot of times people try the scissor sweep, but people react by posting or stepping back. What I'm going to do is I'm going to work on the action stepping back. As a matter of fact, Taylor, can I get you on this side? So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the scissor sweep here. Let me lock the guard. Here, I unlock, scoot out. As I scoot out for scissors, see, I'm trying to sweep, but he's posting. So when that happens, no matter what, I'm not doing a good job of getting rid of him. So here, I'm going to bring this ankle down the shin, hook it inside, and from here, I'm going to tuck in his arm, which I'll show you the other side in just a second, pull the collar, and sweep. Okay, one more time. Lock, collar, sleeve, unlock, scoot out. Here, I'm already scissor sweeping. Taylor has countered the scissor sweep by sitting back. So here, I'm going to bring shin to shin or ankle to shin, go down, get my foot inside, open my knee out. Here, if you look, it's hard to lift him with just the leg. So I'm going to need some help by pulling his neck forward. So I pull forward, I lift, no problem. Now, let me go back to the other side. So, here, into this action, I'm just going to start here. He's pulling back, I slide down ankle to shin, hook, and again, look, I can't move him. So I need to pull, then lift. And I can easily sweep him to the side. One more time. Let me start this from the lock guard. So here, boom, unlock, scoot out. Scissor sweep, he steps back, hook inside, pull, lock, sweep. Obviously, if I'm doing this, I have a backup for the first game of sweeping. Just like this sweep, there's also backups for that in case that fails too. So play a little bit with this, study it, work with your partner and your instructor, and then we'll go to technique number 3. Okay, so now we're going to go next move. The next move I like to work with is a very fundamental position too, which is a basic armbar from the guard. Again, these first techniques are mainly for beginners or fundamental jiu-jitsu students who are just starting working, who don't have an idea of a lot of this stuff. And then, of course, for some students who are a little bit more intermediate advanced, some of the techniques after will help a lot too. Fundamentals are also very good for intermediate advanced students as well. Sometimes advanced students work so many advanced techniques they forgot a lot of their fundamentals. Your fundamentals is always your core value of your jiu-jitsu. If you don't work basics, the advanced is worthless later. So here, I'm going to work with this fundamental setup from the armbar from the guard. Okay, here, Taylor is in my guard. I'm going to hold collar and sleeve position. I'm going to go armbar, and a lot of times I notice armbars, people do drills like scooting and swinging the leg over the head. That's okay, but I like to be a little bit more in control of my opponent. So here when I'm holding the collar and sleeve, I'm going to unlock, put my foot on his hip, and look, I'm going to trap my knee to his arm so he can't pull his arm. See, a lot of times people scoot like this, and he gets the arm out even before you set up the armbar. So here, hook, boom, trap. This leg, a lot of people know they crunch down, but let me show you a little angle they don't really know. You have to bat up first, then crunch down. In other words, don't just hook, and then here, some people try to finish the armbar when he's still facing you. You want to spin a little bit to the side. So let me, here, foot on hip, crunch, bring up, crunch, and look, I just spun to the side a little bit. Taylor's now on an angle. This leg come over the head. In this position here, you can lock if you're a fundamental beginner. This helps a lot, or just crunch down like this. Thumb should always be up, bridge the hips, and go for the finish. Let me go one more time. Lock, unlock, foot on hip, crunch in, up, spin, crunch down, leg over the head. You can lock or crunch like this. If you're a beginner, work the lock. Bridge up, thumb up. The one piece about the armbar from the guard, there's different pieces of what to do and what not to do. One thing is don't ever just grab an arm, swing the leg over, and go for an armbar. If you do this, you're probably going to miss it more often. Take your time when you're developing the armbar, because armbars are tough to finish if you haven't set them up right. The other problem is people do armbars, they don't even have a hold of the arm. They had it, they swung over, and they forgot to hold the arm pulls right out. So there's other positions too, like stacking, which we're going to work next after this technique. But let's go a couple more times. Now let me go from the other angle. So here, I'm in the lock guard again, collar sleeve. Foot on the hip, which you already saw on the other side. Bring this up, then crunch, spin a little bit. Bring this over the head. You can either crunch down on the head or just lock. Thumb goes up, finish with the armbar. Okay, one more time. Lock, foot on the hip, spin, crunch, bring this over, finish with the armbar. Okay? I think that's pretty fundamental. So when you work with those, you should drill with a partner. Be nice and easy. Don't extend too hard on a partner's arm. So a lot of times someone can get hurt. If you extend, it's going to be a few months before they get back into training. So be very easy, and always look for someone to tap out and show someone to tap out first. Work with your instructor on this and develop this. We're going to work another interesting angle. The next technique is going to show what happens if you have problems with this one. So now you know a little bit about setting up the armbar, okay, in a basic sense. Now let's deal with something. I want to sabotage your game. So now when you're working on it, when I'm sabotaging your game, now you're going to have to learn to get out of it. Big problem here. Here, I set up for the armbar. So no problem. I've got it, but unfortunately I get smashed. So Taylor smashes me, and what happened is I'm, really getting squashed. I'm trying to bridge. If you bridge, you're going to hurt your back right here, because the hip is not going to be able to bridge. It doesn't have enough strength, but there's a lot of pressure on your back too. So here, it's not doing it. So here, Taylor, go ahead and stretch both your legs. Put all your weight on me. So here, Taylor is really striking. I'm trying to bridge. It's not going to work. Don't ever bridge. The first thing you do is this leg is going to crunch down on the head. This leg is going to straighten to turn the body. So here, when I crunch down and straighten, I can take him back right onto the top position. Here, of course, I've reversed him. I'm being a little nice by being a little loose with Taylor. But here, you can finish him right from your guard. And of course, here, when I'm in this position, I don't really like extending my legs out like this. I like bringing this foot in closer to the head so he can't move the head. This kind of hooks a little bit. And then here you can just bridge and finish the armbar like this. Notice I'm never grabbing like this, because you grab like this, you're going to struggle with an arm. I like to wrap around. And then here, squeeze your knees. Always bridge for the armbar finish like that. Okay? So let's go one more time. Dealing with the stack position. Stack is tough. A lot of times you're getting smashed, you lose the armbar, you really regret it because you could have done just this move to get out. So here, work one more time. Come on, swing. I have position here. Yeah, I got it. Oh, I got crushed. So here now in this position, crunch down, up. I could have tapped him right there, or just roll here, drag the foot up, squeeze, bridge, finish. Let's go one more time from the other angle. So here, I'm back to position. So hook, I bring the leg across. I would cross and look, he's got me smashed back. It's tough, so crunch down, bridge up, roll here, and I can get him into that position one more time. As you see, there's a lot of leverage on the stack defense. So when you're working this is going to help your arm bars a lot. Work these, and when you're practicing, practice very slow. Don't have someone kill you when you don't even know what you're doing. Work with your instructor and your fellow student and work in this. So train on this, and we'll see you next technique. So now we're going into a different area. Now, when I work my guard, I'm going to work a different setup for a different armbar. There's different angles. We just worked a little bit of some very fundamental basic stuff. Now let's get a little bit intermediate, sort of intermediate advanced things. I want to show you a type of guard I like. It's called the hook guard. And the hook guard is, again, I nicknamed it the hook guard. It's very similar to what a lot of guys already do, but I've found some different angles on finishing, arm locking, reversing, things like that. So the first thing I'm going to do is introduce you to the hook guard. When I work the hook guard, I'm going to show you how to develop the hook guard straight to the armbar. The hook guard here is when I'm in my guard position. Here, my guard is broke. Notice I can't lock around Taylor. So here I'm going to hold onto the collar, hold the sleeve. We'll get feet on hips right away. Whenever I had the feet on hips, I noticed in this position sometimes people are pushing back. And see, even the collar grip is getting tough. So what I'm going to do automatically is I'm going to let go of the collar and I'm going to grab his other sleeve right here, thumb in. Also, keep in mind, in Jiu-Jitsu tournaments, you have to hold with the thumb inside. If you have 4 fingers inside, it's illegal. So now, the next thing, when he's trying to pull back, notice I have my feet on his hips to keep him from getting too close to me or getting away. Here, as he's trying to move back, I'm going to bring this leg out and over and keep this wrist to my hip. I like holding the gi a lot because here in this position I can hold or manipulate his arm. From this position I don't just hold because he can obviously just pull his arm out right like that. So I pull it, I keep pulling his arm to his hip, sort of to torque his shoulder a little bit. The first thing I want to show just a couple of things showing how the hook guard sets up. Here, one, let's say he passes my guard real quick. He passes my guard real quick. Number one, if I figure 4, grab the arm, I already have him in what's called a bicep lock. 2, in this position, let's say he passes this way. He's trying to pass my guard. If I just torque here, I can flip him back into this position, and guess what I have right again? The bicep lock. Okay, so I'm just kind of giving you a little idea of the hook guard. But that's not what I'm going to show you. I want to work here. I get the hook guard here. My foot is going to hook under his left arm like that. The reason why is because I want to manipulate his torso where he tries to pull out. I have him already hooked. I'm going to put this foot on the ground. Watch what I'm going to do here. It doesn't matter how much he tries to resist. I'm going to put his body exactly in the position I need for the finish. So I'm going to push. I'm going to scoot out. Look, you see I'm bending the arm? I'm touching my knee to the ground. I torque his shoulder here. This arm is already in position for exactly how I want it. I bring the leg over the shoulder here, bend my feet, crunch, squeeze my knees, let go of the other arm, and from here to this position, I can finish him with an arm bar. Once again, so I'm starting here, position, collar, sleeve, feet on hips. I bring my foot over, I'm going to go to the sleeve. I'm going to thread my foot under his other arm. I'll post here, scoot out, drag, bring this leg up and over. Here, all I have to do is squeeze the knees, grab the wrist to my chest, and here, all I have to do is just bridge that way. I'm just kind of showing a little bit so you can kind of see the whole arm by going this way. But I would suggest when you have it here, if he tries to pull out, just bridge. You have him right there. It's no problem. So this game I call the hook guard, and this is the hook guard arm bar to this position. Very effective. It's a very, very good way of defending the guard also. This hook guard action has a lot of good other opportunities too. I'm just going to start here for now until we move to the next technique. So now we just worked a little bit of the hook guard. The hook guard, I'm going to show you some different angles into some other positions for attacks. So first thing I'm going to do now, when I'm working my guard with the hook guard, The first thing I'm going to do, of course, when I set the hook guard up, I want to go for the first lock, which is what I just did. But sometimes you have a problem. They pull out. They do other things. So I'm going to show a couple things. On this side, I'll show both angles. Here, let me go right back to position here. I have collar and sleeve just like we did previously. Here, the feet are on the hips. I slide to this arm here. I'm going to wiggle out a little bit here, but Taylor's kind of pulling back. And here I'm trying to go for a hook guard in this position. This is kind of troublesome. Taylor backs out. When he backs out like this, I've kind of lost contact because I never was able to set it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to try to keep feeding the foot. I have another setup I'm going to do from this action. The first thing I'm going to do here, when I'm hooking, I'm going to bring my foot inside, pull myself right up. When I pull myself right up to this position here, I'm going to fire this arm under this arm here. Then I'm going to push his head down. I'm going to start straightening my leg out, and when I straighten the leg out, I'm going to scoot a little bit to the side. So here, out like this, you see the leg over the head. Here, I can just scoot over in this position. When I do this position here, look, I'm going to hold position here nice and easy, crunch down, easily I've got him in a finish. This move I call the Van der Weiss. It's a move I like to develop to get people in locks. And this is such a tough position that actually the lock, even see I'm pulling here, notice he's not tapping right off the bat. The move that is putting the pressure on the shoulder is not so much from here, it's my leg from this position here. Yeah. See what I mean? So this, make sure you have it tight. So keep the leg up like this because this helps a lot to make this move work. Let's go one more time. Here I'm just going to start with the feet on the hip. Slide here. I'm trying to go hook, he backs out. Immediately I'm going to sit right up, fire this arm under like this, push his head down so I can get my leg over. Here you can fire right out, scoot in a little bit here, and of course here, look, if I'm holding, notice Taylor's not tapping, but if you straighten the leg up, obviously I'm going to make him tap. So make sure you're elevating this arm with your foot. Curl your foot to keep it in place too. Once again, right to the position. Okay, now let's go to the other side. Here, I'm going to set it up this way. Once I'm here, I'm going to set up the hook guard. So here I have it. I'm trying to get the hook backs out. So I'm going to pull myself right up. From here, you see how easy I can just fire this arm. You don't have to grab it or get ready to set up. Just hook under. Push the head down, straighten the leg, bring it over. But look, here I'm going. You've got to straighten this arm, leg up. There's the setup. There you go. Into this position. So, this is the game here on the Weiss. Van der Weiss is a good follow-up for the hook guard when it fails. It's also a good attack, just to attack if you want. If that seems to be your favorite move, try it. So, but be very careful on the shoulders with that move. And we keep working that until we work the next technique. Okay, so now let's work into another angle. From here I'm going to work the triangle choke. The triangle, some people may be familiar, maybe not, but I'm going to work a little bit of it into some other positions. Developing the guard is a tough game. Like you notice, I'm doing a lot of things from guard, from different angles here, there. Some I'm working some basic, intermediate stuff. Now I'm starting to get into more complicated things, but they're going to help your game as you move along. Here at the triangle, I want to first show just basic triangle setup. From basic triangle setup, then I'm going to show you another angle of the triangle. A lot of times people are very tough, or you get very strong people, and I want to show a move called the zipper triangle. This move is a move I developed against bigger, stronger people. Sometimes they're tough, they're able to hold very tight. So here, I'm in the position of guard. Here, this is all I'm going to do. I'm just going to bring my foot out to his arm, and I'll show the other angle. Stretch, bring this over, bring this arm inside. Here, I'm just going to lock. For when I lock, just push the arm across, reach, grab my foot, push, slide all the way over. Then I can relock my triangle. And from here, go for the finish. Okay? The triangle itself is a very tough move, but you have to get comfortable like getting stacked, smashed, all these positions. The problem with the triangle is a lot of times, let's assume I'm going for this triangle, and as I'm trying to push, I can't push his arm. He's not letting me push the arm. So now I can't tighten the triangle. He might even stack or something like that. Right. So this is tough. So when I'm in this position here, I have to work what's my angle. Okay? So here, first of all, anytime I'm here, don't unlock and then try to relock. Just keep them locked the best you can. Here I'm trying to push. He's not letting that arm go across. Don't even play with it. I'm going to stick the thumb in the sleeve right here. This is going to help me set up to the zipper triangle. Then I'm going to reach for his leg in this position. Here I just need to grab his gi. That's it. And what I'm going to do is pull the gi to my head like this. Then I'm going to push the arm out to the side. When I do this, I'm going to turn him a little bit sideways. When he's sideways, he's going to be at another angle where I can actually set it up. So here, even though he's tough pulling it up, all I'm going to do is pull this up and push this to the side. Once I'm here, I'm going to scoot out to the side here. This foot will stay on the hip to make sure he's not able to get on top. Reach, grab my ankle. I'm going to lock my figure four, pull here, and squeeze, and there's the finish. I'll show you one more time from this angle, and then I'll show you another angle. So here, I'm just going to the triangle, push, lock, here. I'm trying to push, have a problem. Here, and this, you can just put your knee down, yeah. So here, because sometimes some people might scoot back, so let's cheat even more and make it harder for me. So here I'm like doing this. I'm just going to reach over here. All you have to do, you can reach, grab any piece, but just make sure you grab a piece. Here, I'm going to pull the leg, get him to the side, grab my ankle, snake out, foot on hip, get as tight as you can. Because sometimes, if you bend your foot, all you have to do is pull. I can tap him out right there. So here, I'm just going to lock, tighten the grip, and of course, I'm going to squeeze here, go for the finish. Okay? So, let me go to the other side and kind of work a position here. So first thing here, let me just set up in the triangle. We've already been there. So again, I'm going to grab the sleeve, remember thumb in. You've already seen how I pull the leg up. So when I'm pulling the leg up here in this position, I'm pulling and pushing this out. I'm already to the side now. I'm no longer in front of him. This leg, push so I can scoot out a little bit. When I scoot out a little bit, foot on the hip, keep holding this. This is so important. Then I'm going to lock my triangle. See, he's already feeling pressure. Here, I'm going to relock, hold position, squeeze. There he goes. One more time. Here, I grab the gi, pull the leg up, push the arm out. Once I'm in this position here, I'm going to bring the leg down. Notice I'm scooting out a little bit more to the side because I want to be away from him, not in front of him. So here, to the side, foot on hip, angle, attack, adjust, here, finish. There we go. This angle on what I call the zipper triangle, it's a very effective triangle, especially if you're a lot smaller than your other training partners or opponent in a tournament. So try to work on this, develop it very slow, be very careful, deliberate, and then we'll work on next technique. So now that we worked a little bit of those angles, let's work with something else. This is a position, it's one of the two worst positions for beginners in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. One, of course, the two most complained about positions or complained about weaknesses or flaws or inherent flaws in most white belt games are one, they whine or cry about getting the guard passed. The second one is they can't escape the side mount. two tough positions. You will always have those positions in your future because there will always be someone who can hold you or maintain those positions. So the first thing I want to do is work a couple side escapes. I'm going to work side escape 1, and the side escape 1 is I'm going to show you an angle where I'm going to escape and also reverse my opponent. A lot of times people do two main escapes on getting out of the side. One is the shrimp or scooting out, going to all fours, and getting back up. The other one is replacing or putting them back into the guard or in between their legs. The problem is sometimes people hold so good you can't get either one of those. So here, in this position here, I'm going to work. Taylor, get me on side here. Taylor's got me on side. Here into this position, I'm trying to push, I'm trying to scoot, bridge, anything. Nothing's working. I'm trying to elbow escape in. He's blocked too tight. I'm trying to walk away. He stays too tight. Okay, so now I've got to work something a little bit different. The first thing I'm going to work here is you can't replace the guard or totally get out of position. So what I'm going to try to do first is just try to work to get my knee in. To get my knee in into this position, sometimes when you're being held, like Taylor's holding really kind of tight right now, so it's tough to push him. I need to get some angle. So this is what I'm going to do. Instead of trying to put my knee in this way, I'm just going to walk away, and then I'm going to bridge. 1 second, Taylor. Here, a lot of times when people try to bring the knee in, if you're smashed, forget it. You're not going to get out that way. So here, I'm going to walk away a little bit. Then I'm going to bridge on this shoulder. Bring this knee in like that. Okay? So once again, let me just show it one more time. So I'm going to walk away first. Bridge up. This elevates my body off the ground, which brings theirs off the ground. So now I have gap under here to bring my knee inside. So here, Taylor's got me on side. So here, in this position, I'm going to walk away, bridge on my shoulder, bring this knee up, down, and inside. Now, I have not put him back into my guard. I just have the knee inside. That's all I really need. Here, he knows this is tough, so he reestablishes his grip. He's not going to let me get another inch. No problem. The first thing I'm going to do is trap this arm to make sure he can't post. This hand is going to grab this leg, which I'll show you the other side in just a minute. Here, I'm going to keep him tight to me. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to push in this direction to make him drive me back on the mat. That way he puts all his weight on me. That's what I want. Then I'm going to bring this leg up, and I'm going to sort of pendulum balance like this until actually this leg is going to pendulum balance almost to touch the ground. When it hits, I'll be able to maneuver his weight over, and then I'm going to lift his leg with this hand that I'm grabbing his gi with. So first, I'm going to bring the leg up, pendulum. I start pendulum. You see what's happening here? I'm able to get a position here. So here, I pendulum again, then I cross the legs. When I cross here, as you see I'm holding this, I'm coming right to the knee on stomach. Okay, let's go back for just a second. Let me show a little bit from this angle. So here, when you see Taylor work in this position, here, again, I walk away, bridge up, bring this leg inside like that. This hand should always block to make sure he doesn't pass your guard again. So I block, I scoot in tight. This hand is going to grab the arm. Here I'm just going to grab around the pant leg. Hold him tight. When they smash you, this is what you want. If he backs out a little bit, what happened is push him, just bump a little bit, he's going to drive back forward. That's what I want. This leg comes up, I'm just going to rock a little bit. If you can't get someone off the first time, try 2, 3, 4 times. Look, now I have him in the air. Cross my legs. Here, keep lifting the leg too, and look where I end up. Right into the knee on stomach. So this position is good. I'll show one more time, and then I want to show a little bit of a variation. Here, Taylor has me on side. So here, push, angle, walk away, bridge, bring the knee inside here. When I'm bringing the knee inside here, trap the arm, trap the leg. Here, he's smashing me, so I'm going to pendulum a little bit. Hold, pendulum, bring, keep raising the leg, over, get right on top. to knee on stomach. Okay? Now I'm in business. Now I'm going to work a little bit of a secondary move from here because this happens a lot. Let's say I'm rocking him and he knows what I'm doing, so he counters by leaning in the other direction. This happens too, which is all part of the side mount escape game. Here, I have my knee already in. Okay. Here, I'm going to rock Taylor, but Taylor's going to know he's going to, lean in the other direction here. So here, just one second. Go ahead and grab side mount first. Yeah. So here, I'm grabbing that. Look at that. You see him leaning back? Or I do it so hard, he even leans almost on his side a little bit. What happens, I'm going to rock to make him keep doing that, like that. He wants to lean. Then I'm going to post my leg on the ground. I'm just going to pull his arm up, kick into this other direction until I end up knee on stomach that way. Okay? Let me do that from the other angle now. So here, I'm moving. Oh, let me just start with the knee inside. Yeah. Okay. So here, I trap, hook. I'm pedaling here. He bases back. I do it again. Don't ever pedal him once and then try to go because he's going to counter. He's leery. Make him think you're going to that position. Let him set himself up. Make him commit to that other angle like this. Boom, push, kick a little, roll, back, right to knee on stomach there. So this position will help a lot. Work a lot on your escapes from the side, retracting, getting the knee inside. It's a little bit more intermediate advanced. I think this will help you a lot. Anybody can do it. You just have to work on a couple techniques. Keep holding on to this. I'll see you on the next technique. Okay, so now we just worked some side escapes. I want to work one more which is a little bit more complicated. This one is really tough side escape. None of those moves are working. So Taylor, so here he gets me onto the side. I want you to see this angle first. Notice here he cross faces me. I'm not able to scoot. I'm trying. I can't get the knee in. I can't walk away. I can't bridge. I can't flip. I can't do anything. I'm stuck. So here, go ahead and squeeze me really tight to it. So you're here in this position. Come back into this position. I can't move. So let me show you how to get some movement. This hand, I want this collar. Keep that in mind. But look, I can't really grab it from here because I'm being stuck. This arm is going to come around the head. It's going to do what's called crowning the head. He holds me tight. It doesn't matter. I'm going to be able to get my movement even if it's for just 1 second. So here I'm going to post, crown with my biceps. I'm going to bridge over that shoulder like this. He's going to pin me back down, but when he pins me back down, I have got his collar. That's all I wanted. He keeps holding me tight. I don't care. Feed this over to this hand. Now I can hold him down, so he can't really get this arm to attack for an arm lock or anything either. Here, most people trying to reach for the half guard in this position, he's tight. It's kind of tough to do. So here I'm going to push, watch. When I'm pulling this collar down into this position, now I'm just going to scoot out a little bit, but what happens is he feels his neck, a little bit tight. He's going to try to sprawl. When he sprawls, I'm going to pop my hand here, shift, go right to the half guard. Now he's going to try to get tight again. It's not going to work because from here in this position, I'm going to grab this leg, unlock here. Look, I'm going to trap this. This foot inside is going to come up, feed, get to this hook on this leg. When I get this hook, I'm going to lift. I'm going to pull the collar down, lift this leg up, and he's going to roll over my shoulder like that. When he goes over the shoulder here, watch. He automatically pulls this arm in to tuck, but look, I have the collar. So here, watch this great finish. I'm just going to step over, elbow to my knee, and I'm going to finish him immediately with a choke. One more time. So here, side, boom. I'm moving, I can't go anywhere. So I'm going to crown the head, bridge, open the collar, feed the collar to the other hand, push. He tries to stack. When he does trap, half guard, he tries to get in tight, no problem. I've got this leg. Now look, I'm going to push this leg down. This one hooks under. Let me show this a little bit better. Feed this to this leg like that. Pull the collar down, elevate, lift, flip, pull to the side. He tries to tuck the arms in, step over, finish, go, choke hard. That's how you go for it. Now, that's from this angle. Let me do the other angle real quick just for you. Boom, I'm trapped, pushing, I'm gonna crown, come back. Look, here's the collar. Feed, post, he stacks, I'm gonna push, go to half guard. Pull down, hold the leg up. This leg pushes, this leg hooks underneath, feeds it to this leg. Pull collar down, lift, elevate, here. Right here is the kill. Straighten your legs out. Boom, I'm just gonna step over, elbow touch my knee. There's the finish. I thought I would add that last one in for you because on this game, when developing the guard, we like to work different escapes, different attacks, things like that. I hope you enjoyed Volume 2, Developing the Guard Game. The guard game is a good game to work with your partners, with your instructors. And be careful, have a lot of caution on training, very slow, deliberate, and very technical. If you ever want to get a hold of me, you can go to my website at www.austinbjj.com, and you can reach me via phone or email. And I thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the video series.